we hear a lot about eye discipline, one of the terms we heard a lot last year defending Lamar. But there's so much you don't want to have to overthink things. So if you could boil it down to maybe one or two key principles on going against him after facing him last year, what's really most important?
Number one, you just said eyes. And number two, playing fast and tackling.
And I know that, like, there's some people, when you face a guy like that, sometimes you want to say you want to slow play him, string him out. If you do that, is there a danger of him having too much time to make somebody look foolish, basically?
100%. With this guy, you can try to blitz guys at him. You can have, you can sit back, you can play covered. It doesn't matter, when any scheme that you throw at him, he's able to maybe make one guy miss and take it to the house. So we understand that he's a very versatile player. Obviously a weapon, one of the best athletes in the league, and it's just a huge challenge for us.
Thanks, Micah.
Of course.
Hey, Micah, it's John. You played him, twice, I guess, at this point. But how beneficial is it actually being on the field and seeing his speed up close and seeing it there and going against it? Because I'm sure no matter who it is, it's probably incredibly hard, if not impossible, to replicate in practice. How beneficial is that?
Oh, it's huge. It's huge having that game last year on film to be able to watch and see what you did well and see what you did poorly. But yeah, seeing his speed on the field was last year was big. You can watch the film and you can see on the film he's running away from guys like easily. Even guys that are taking angles on him, he's running away from them. So to actually see it in real life, it's I don't want to say it's a better. We're not put in a better situation, obviously, because we got to go out there and defend them and stop them. But it's good to see. It's good to see that offense in real life.
And oh my gosh, I just forgot what I was going to say. I'll let you go then.
All right, appreciate it, John.
Okay, Micah. 2 questions, quick ones. Vertical routes. You're gonna do like their offense. You're probably gonna see a lot of those this week. What do you think about their passing game like that?
Well, obviously, they got some guys that can take the top off. Obviously, we're 15 and 89 is a huge weapon for him. He's a very good player. I feel like anytime Lamar throws it close to him, he goes up and he gets it. So, we got to understand where those guys are at all times. But I think that stopping the run and eliminating those big pass plays downfield is going to be a huge key for us.
And then the last question is, I wonder if you could put into a little bit of context defending the tight end. In other words, some games, okay, maybe the tight end is the top priority. But for instance, last week you gave up 14 catches to the tight end, but Jonathan Taylor came into the game, having 253 yards, and you don't want to give up deep balls to T.Y. Hilton. So I'm not trying to make excuses for you, but I mean, if the choice is getting killed by Jonathan Taylor or T.Y. Hilton, okay, maybe if we have to give up a pass to Trey Burton, well, we'll try to stop it as best we can. What do you think of that whole subject of tight end?
Yeah, I mean that's the life of the NFL. Game plan each and every week. You gotta pick and choose your battles. If the team's running the ball well, like you just said, stopping the run is the biggest thing. If you give up a couple, nickel and dime catches here and there, you gotta live with it. You gotta be able to force some takeaways and stuff, and be, third down is key to get off the field. But that's just the challenge each and every week. Obviously, the challenge this week is stopping the run by all the running backs, quarterback, whoever it may be, and then the shots downfield. So whatever happens in between there, we're gonna obviously try to limit and try to get the win that way.
Thank you, Micah.
Of course.
Hey, Martenzi Johnson with ESPN. I know you spoke specifically about Lamar a little earlier, but as far as just mobile quarterbacks and non-mobile quarterbacks, what's the difference in preparation for those two? And out of the two, which would you say is, relatively speaking, easier?
I wouldn't say one's easier than the other. Obviously, you got some very good pocket passers in this league. But at the same time, when you got a quarterback that can run like Lamar, it's a different dynamic. You gotta really play all 11 guys, and all 11 guys on defense are crucial. You can't necessarily have 2 guys sitting 20 yards back, playing cover 2 the whole game, because that there's literally no one to account for the quarterback if he keeps it. So it's a different dynamic, and that's with the game planning and the scheme and stuff that comes in, and like I said, just try to limit his production.
Thank you.
Hey, Micah, can you hear me?
Yep.
Great. What does Martin Luther King Day mean to you this year?
Well, it's big. It's big. I think that it's huge every year, just because of what Martin Luther King was able to fight for in this country, and then obviously the current events that we're going through in this nation, having so much division and hatred going on that to sit back and see what was being fought for a long time ago before all this stuff is happening is big to see. So obviously just a big day, and I think our nation needs it.
Definitely. How do you hope the NFL continues to work with players in its communities to put the fight to end racism at the forefront?
I think it's important because a lot of players and on all teams are from places with a lot of minorities, and so if I'm able to share throughout the NFL my story and where I come from and all that, and other people around the nation are going to see that what I'm fighting for, my what I believe in, and all that type of stuff.
Definitely. Well, thank you so much, and good luck.
Thank you.
Hey, Micah, Dan Fates in Rochester. I'm not a meteorologist, but they are saying it's 30 and snow showers on Saturday night. You played in Green Bay. You played in Buffalo. What is different about playing in a cold, snowy football game than maybe different than others?
What's different? The preparation of it. I feel like kind of get your mind right, go out there and play football in the cold. You got to be prepared. I think that unless it's a 2017 Indianapolis Colts game, then it doesn't really change. If the snow's not sticking on the ground, it's your footing's fine, everything's good. It's just mentally getting your mind right that it's going to be cold and having the right stuff on and being prepared when you get off the field to get a jacket or stand by the heaters.
Is it more mental than physical?
For me, it is. For me, I know that hearing it's going to be a 15-degree game is not ideal. I don't care what anybody says. I don't care where you're from. People, you can play in Green Bay and come to Buffalo. We're all humans. Like, the cold is not fun to play in. I'd rather be in South Florida also, but it's just something you got to prepare for, and your mentality has to be right.
Thanks, Micah.
Hey, Josh, we can't hear you, man. I'm going to go to Beauvais and come back to you.
Hey, Micah. It's funny. All week everybody talks about how do you stop Lamar Jackson? And I totally understand that. It's completely warranted. But I guess my question is, when there is such a focus on somebody who's so dynamic, how do you make sure that you don't lose sight or lose focus on some of the other talented players on the other side of the ball?
That's kind of what we have to face every week. Obviously, each and every week there's a challenge for us, whether it's an individual or a scheme or whatever it may be. And then I thought it was falling on me.
It sounded like a cymbal clanked or something.
I forget the question. I got scared real quick. What are we doing?
Hey, this is just typical. This is what it's like, 2020,
COVID.
2021.
Oh, my gosh.
This is COVID.
Got an interview, and I'm worried about drapes falling on me.
No, but it was just, Lamar Jackson gets so much attention, but there's so many other talented players. J.K. Dobbins has scored a touchdown in like 7 straight games. Hollywood Brown is obviously a really talented player. Mark Andrews. How do you make sure you don't lose focus on any of those other guys when obviously Lamar takes so much attention?
Yeah, you just got to limit them. You got to go out there, and I think it starts with what I've been saying, is stopping the run, and then limit the weapons in the pass game. It's not easy. If it was easy, then the Ravens wouldn't be in the position that they're in. It's a huge challenge for us, and at the same time, they got to worry about what we're doing on defense too. So it's going to be a chess match, and it goes with stopping the run, limiting the big plays, and hopefully from there we'll be in a better position to go out there and shut them down.
Thanks, man. We're just fighting through adversity with this interview here.
Yes, we are.
All right, let me try this again. You got me now?
There he is. I got you.
Thanks for taking a second. Sorry about that earlier. Dan kind of brought this up, and you said, look, it's cold. It doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter. What's your take on guys that you see go out in pregame with no shoes on or no shirt on? I mean, I'm sure you've seen those guys, right?
That's for you guys. That's for you guys. I'm convinced that's for you guys. For you guys to talk about it, because listen, I'm not going out there with no shirt on, no shoes, or that's ridiculous. My mom taught me at a young age that's how you get sick.
Hey, Mark Andrews, you touched on him a little bit already. You guys have had a chance to, you played Travis Kelce. You went up against Mike Gesicki a couple of times. You've played some of the Waller from the Raiders. You guys have played some of the best tight ends in the NFL. Does he remind you of any of those guys, or can you take something away from how you kind of defended those guys during the season?
Well, I said obviously he's up there with all those guys, just incredible tight ends in this league. And I will say that the tight ends in this league are just getting better and better. These are freaks. I mean, you think about it, they're 6'5", 6'6", can run like a receiver and are strong and can block like an offensive lineman. And it's getting wild. But with Andrews, I think that he's not that type of guy that you're gonna split all the way out and just run one-on-ones with all day. Obviously, I think that the scheme benefits him, and he's making a bunch of plays. He's, like I said, he's one of the best tight ends in the game. Lamar looks for him on a lot of plays and puts it anywhere around him. He goes and gets it. So just another big body, another challenge for us, and that's where the tight ends are going in this league.
All right, thanks, Micah. Good luck Saturday. Of
course. Thank you, Josh.
Micah John Warrow AP.
What's up, John?
Hi, good. I'm glad you can hear me, given all the problems you're having there with all the clanging and all that stuff. I know you guys held the Ravens in check for the most part a year ago, but things change. And the two of the games that you struggled, that this defense has struggled, is against dual threat quarterbacks and teams that can run the ball in Kyler Murray and Patrick Mahomes. What gives you the confidence that you guys have cleaned things up and are capable to handle this type of offense?
Well, I think the confidence is always there. The confidence is sticking to our routine, sticking to what got us here. The preparation and preparing and watching a lot of film and trusting your coaches and trusting, your techniques and stuff in practice. Obviously it's a different dynamic when you have running quarterbacks. Everybody on the defense has to account for that 11th guy, and it's tough. It honestly is. But that's the challenge that a lot of these guys bring, and we're up for it. Just sticking to the plan, and going out there and playing just team ball. It's not just their offense versus our defense. The whole 60 minutes. They have to worry about our offense, they have to worry about our special teams, and they got to worry about our defense. So, we're a confident bunch, and as long as we go out there and play our game, we should be fun.
And just the other thing is if you look around, who's left among the cornerbacks who are left in the playoffs, there's some talented guys, including, who the Ravens have, who the Bills have. What do you make just of the talent? Is that a coincidence that some of the best cornerbacks are still around playing right now?
Some of the best cornerbacks happen to play on the best team. That's all I can say. I mean, I don't think that the having a great corner is gonna take you to the playoffs. Obviously, you need a great team to be there. But there are some very talented corners, and some very talented teams.
Thanks, Micah.
Of course.
Hi, Micah. Matt Fairburn here. Preparing for Lamar is, a unique challenge because of what he brings to the table. But what about this option style offense that really hardly any teams in the NFL run. What type of challenge is that to prepare for in just 1 week when it's such a departure from other schemes?
Yeah, you kind of have to flush everything you've done throughout the past, I don't know, 25 weeks since we got back here in July. You kind of got to flush it and really hone in on what this offense does. But I think, going into that game last year, I felt like we had a very good plan. We felt like we could execute a little bit better. So we're just learning from that. And obviously they do some new things, some different wrinkles in their offense too. So we're trying to focus on that too. And we're going to go out there, we're going to fight, take it a play at a time and try to limit the big plays.
Do some of those concepts take you back to college at all? Did you have any games, preparing for these types of offenses probably a little more often when you were at Iowa?
Yeah. We played Georgia Tech in the Orange Bowl my freshman year, and bull prep was miserable. Oh my gosh, our receivers were cutting every single day. Bull prep, that's like 2-3 weeks of just straight practicing, and it was miserable. So preparing for a team like this is difficult, especially when you got guys that are going to be cutting you also. You got to defend the cut and all that type of stuff. So it's tough. It's a tough offense to play. Your eyes really got to be well, and you got to game tackle. You can't just have a half or a hat and expect it to be done. You actually have to get them on the ground also.
What role does the defensive line play in slowing an offense like this down? Because it seemed like last year that was kind of where it all started, with you guys being able to stop them in their tracks a little bit.
We put a lot of emphasis on our D-line disruption. And obviously, any given week, we need our D-line to play well just because it helps out everybody in the back end, run and passing situations. But obviously this week is a key. It's key for them just because how much they run the ball and how well they run the ball. So, but I think as long as our guys up front do what they do, and create a little bit of havoc in the line of scrimmage, and that gives our guys in the back end, the back seven, the vision to see what's going on.